Hey, what's going on guys? Just Stone back here again with another video. Today I'm going to try and do something different and hopefully this could become somewhat of a regular occurrence. Yeah, I told my girlfriend I was struggling for like content to put up, original stuff. She said, why don't you just talk about life and situations and things like that? So I thought, it sounds a bit boring, but the more I thought about it, it sort of appealed to me more. So I'm going to try and do that. Yeah, like I say, hopefully this can be a regular occurrence. For a spoiler alert, this is just going to be me talking, so don't expect anything too much from this, but hopefully anything I talk about can be somewhat valuable to a particular audience for that particular video, such and such. What I'm trying to get at here is that it's just going to be me talking. It's not going to be like anything flashy on screen or anything. The only thing I'm going to do is bring this little bad boy in a second just for a little intro. But yeah, to that end, you can probably, like, if you're watching or listening to this at work, you can, like, what I tend to do, I usually put videos, minimize them and just listen to it as a podcast. So you can treat it like that. Just to let you know, don't expect anything too flashy from this. But anyway, today what I'm going to talk about is something which I think personally affects me. I'm sure it's affecting quite a few people around the world. And things like that. I don't really know how to get around it because I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. And it's just being generally in a sort of happy and upbeat mood from day to day. Yeah, let me get this part out of the way. So this is just Stone talking, and we're going to talk about how, from my personal experience, how you can sort of improve your day, or you can help improve other people's days. So like I said, this is me talking from my personal experience. You know, other people will probably have their own ways of coping or dealing with situations like this, but I'm just going to talk from my experience, and maybe it might help some people who watch this video. So this isn't supposed to be a sob story or anything like that. It's literally just talking, maybe giving some advice if it helps the right people. Some time ago, I felt like I was in a rut, for lack of a better word, sort of like a downward spiral. I just felt low every single day. And part of me was wondering, you know, like, when we get in situations like this, we tend to diagnose ourselves like, oh, maybe I'm depressed or something. But I thought, you know, let me go to a doctor and sort of get somewhat of a professional opinion. So all it was, we just sat there, talked and talked, and I found that as I was talking about my situation, like I said, it's not supposed to be a sob story or competition or anything. I'm sure people have got things much worse than I did at the time. I just found myself crying. I burst out in tears, and I really wasn't expecting that. And to me, that was a bit of a wake-up call that things aren't as peachy as they might seem. And although we can all put on like a hard outer shield to make ourselves look like we're fine and everything's good, you always hear these adverts about, like, talk to your mates, ask them, are they okay? They might say something, but they're really not. And they could have things going on in their life that you don't know about, and it does affect people different ways. Now, some people might say, like, oh, you're too soppy, act like a man and that, but you do often see videos and such of, like, big, strong, macho looking men, like they have mental problems, you know, things that are affecting them, and if it affects everyone in different ways, so no person is exactly the same. I don't think there is like a way we should all conform to, saying like, you should be like this person, or like this sort of like this sort of figure. That's what you should aspire to be. You should be your own self, be the best you can be. But yeah, things affect people in different ways. You know, we're not all the same. So at that time, you know, the doctor's initial opinion was maybe if we don't sort of explore different things and stuff, like, I could be on a slow route to depression. I haven't really told anyone about this, so this is a bit of a big thing for me, but not trying to get exposure based on this story. Yeah, so he arranged like a sort of a phone consultation to begin with for me and a therapist to talk about stuff, but that took about a week or so, and I just found I was trying to think more positively about things, trying to interact with people. This is what I'm trying to get at. And I felt better at the time. So when I had this phone conversation with this therapist, we described everything, and I said, like, I personally, I do feel better. Not trying to, like, you know, just get out of the situation. I actually did feel better at the time. When I described things, he advised me, like, okay, it sounds like you're dealing with it your own way. So go away for a bit, see how you feel, but here's the number, feel free to get back to us if you need to. So I did that, and yeah, things were going okay. Up until a few weeks ago, I started to feel the same sort of thing. And I think what sort of like helped, I don't want to say helped, but what made me sort of feel this way is like lack of interaction. So I like to do things by myself, but a bit of like interpersonal interaction, like saying, "Oh, how was your day?" or something like that. You know, that affects me personally, and especially when someone actually means it. So where I work right now, I work in an open office. I'm not trying to get anyone here. If anyone from work does watch this, it's not like that. But in the grand scheme of things, I suppose maybe it is, but I'm not trying to get that way. But anyway, yeah, I often see people, they walk past other people like, "Oh, how was your day?" And, you know, things like that, make some banter and stuff like that. And it feels like, even though it's all jokes, they generally mean it. Like, they mean to go out of their way to sort of just interact with someone. And I don't often get that. Or when I do, it just feels like the mundane thing. "Oh, how are you?" You know, it doesn't feel like they really care. They're just saying it because, say I'm here, they come in and they're, "Oh, how are you?" Make conversation, get out, or I get out. Well, you know, I think it works both ways. So I'm not trying to pick at other people. I need to make an effort myself. Yeah, and I just feel like I don't belong somewhere. So you've got this group of people all bantering, "Oh, it's all bullshit, blah, blah, blah." You know, I'm here, like, maybe I'll say like, "Oh yeah, such and such," but I feel like I'm trying to force my way into a conversation. I don't feel like I belong there. And it kind of feels like other people don't make a real effort. I don't really know what this is, but it works. People don't really make much of an effort to sort of try to get to know me. And I feel when I try to integrate into conversation, I'm sort of trying to force my way in. And it feels like at the time, maybe it's going all right, but the next day, it feels like that conversation didn't happen and we're like complete strangers again. So for me, if someone, like, say for example, I go to a coffee shop more often than not on my lunch break, and I found that sort of asking the person, or they asked me, "How was my day?" You know, like, I don't know them from like I don't know, I can't think of an analogy. I don't know them from like a bar of soap or something. And yeah, if they just sort of feel like, you know, like, "Oh, how are you?" and they like, "How are you?" they follow up with a very brief conversation while they're making the coffee, it makes me feel better. I feel a bit more positive about myself. I sat there with a smile on my face, drinking my coffee, watching whatever crap on my tablet. Yeah, but I generally felt in a better mood. And I think small things like that can really help someone's well-being. Like I said, from my personal experience. And I used to work in a shop for about 6 years or so. I saw other people doing it, but I always thought in my head, like, "Oh, they don't know anything about them. You know, what's the point in engaging in a conversation? You're never going to see this person again." But I think looking back, when I did sort of try that, like, you know, if I always felt like if someone approached me, and I say I was serving someone on the till, if someone approached me in a positive way, and then you just get a positive vibe off that, and then I sort of asked, "Oh, how was your day? What are you up to?" You know, comment about the weather, like, "Oh, we're stuck in here," but make a joke out of it. I felt better, and I felt like the customer went away feeling better, you know. And even if you only make someone feel better for like that short moment, I personally feel like it helps someone's mental well-being, and, you know, can brighten up their day, even if it's just for a few seconds. It all helps. So yeah, what I'm trying to get at here is, like, if you're feeling like you don't belong, or you're like in a downward spiral or whatever, you know, realistically, you should probably seek professional help. But if I can give you anything to take away from this, try to be a bit more positive. I know it's easier said than done. I can't think of any examples, but, well, the main example I'm going to come up with here is just try to interact with people. Say, for example, I used to do just approaching strangers in the street just for other reasons, but this all works. And, like, you can just approach someone and say, like, "Oh, how was your day?" You know, maybe they'll brush you off, especially if you live in London. Probably like 6 or 7 times out of 10, someone's just going to completely ignore you. Don't let that bother you. Just go up to the next person and say, "Oh, how are you?" Like, and comment about something. Like, say you're in Leicester Square and there's like a big banner in the cinema for a film or something. Say, like, "Oh yeah, I'd really like to see it." So if you see someone hanging around the cinema, maybe you can get into a conversation. You really be surprised, and it does make you feel better, and you'll probably make the other person feel better, because it feels like, especially in London, everyone's just going about their business, you know, unless you're personally friends with the person, like, fuck everyone else. But at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat. We're all humans. We're all the same. We're all trying to get on with life. Why don't we all work together to make an experience better, even if you never see the person again? And that always bugs me as well, like say on the tube or something. Everyone's out for themselves. I got onto a crowded tube train the other day, and there was space. And this one particular person, I was going to say what gender they were, but that doesn't really matter. This one particular person was just standing right there. They didn't want to move or anything. So I sort of like, the doors were about to close and there was space really. So I jumped in and I sort of like nudged her a bit, and straight away I apologized and they just gave me a dirty look. And I just started laughing to myself. I said, come on, like, it's, what I've just done isn't going to affect you. There is space. Stop being a selfish bastard. And then as well, on another train, some other person was doing the same sort of thing. And I just started laughing to myself. It's nothing to get uptight about. Like, let's all help each other make the most of a positive life. And yeah, so what I'm trying to get at here is, like, if you're feeling negative about stuff, just talk to people very casually. Make them feel like, you know, we all belong together. I'm sort of rambling a bit now, so I want to try and wrap this up. But yeah, just sort of, we all should get on with each other. You know, one brief moment of conversation, even if it's only for like a minute or 30 seconds, I think personally, from my experience, it can make someone feel a bit more positive about themselves. Yeah, so I'd say try and go out of your way to sort of ask someone how they are. Hopefully it's reciprocated, you know, because it does suck to be given everything into a conversation or a relationship or something and you get nothing back. But hopefully that starts things on, gets things going. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's what I wanted to give for this, you know, how to sort of make yourself feel better, make other people feel better. And it's as simple as like, oh, how's your day? Or like, you know, like, oh, you, maybe it can be insulting if you say like, oh, you look stressed or something. But I don't know, maybe you can sort of get a vibe of what sort of reaction you're going to get. You can, you know, to start a conversation like that. But just to go out your way and say like, oh, how's your day? What are you up to today? If someone takes it the wrong way, they take it the wrong way. But another person might find it really pleasant, and they're really glad that you made the effort to get to know them. Yeah, so have a bit of like feeling and emotion behind what you say. Don't just say, oh, how, you know, you all right? How are you? Like, you know, like, oh, how's your day going? You know, things like that. And it can lead into a conversation. You'd be surprised. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up there. Thanks for watching. So all the stuff, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me any experiences you have. Maybe we can all help each other. Let me know anything maybe we can talk about. I want to try and do more original stuff like this rather than like posting video game footage all the time or talking about football, because that's, everyone does that, you know. It's so easy to just type in like Arsenal or WWE 2K19. But stuff like this, you know, speaking from personal experience, I think is quite original. And the main point is hopefully it helps. It will probably help me, and hopefully it helps other people in certain situations. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. So anyway, take care and all the best.